So being high vibrational and raising your vibration does not mean trying to be the happiest, most positive version of yourself. If anything, that often prevents us from actually embodying these higher frequency states and actually feeling happy is this pressure to be happy and positive all the time, especially when it's just not authentic to the current vibration you're in. So if you're feeling like you're in a low vibrational state, the trick to entering a more high vibrational state is not trying to force yourself to be happy or succumb to feelings of guilt and shame because you're not being spiritual. Hey guys, it's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys what it really means to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, and what it means to even exist on your highest wavelength. On this channel, I talk about spiritual growth, healing, expanding and embodying the highest, most authentic version of ourselves, and ultimately mastering this experience of being a spiritual being, having a human experience. So to really break down what it means to raise your vibration, I'm gonna paint a picture for you guys. And this starts with this. So I want you to think of you as an individual, as a very whole and complete being, right? We exist on an energetic level primarily. I'm sure that you've heard of this in the spiritual community. Everything is pure energy and matter. Our bodies are like a manifestation of that energy in a more dense form. Well, here's the thing. We have many different bodies. Physical body, you have a mental body, your mind, kind of how you perceive things, and you have the feeling body, you have the emotional body. And the only one we can really see is the physical. But here's the thing. All three bodies are completely real in and of themselves. They're just different expressions and manifestations of energy at a different density. So this is the most dense one, the physical. But here's what's interesting. Each body can exist in a low vibrational state or a high vibrational state. And it's not black and white, yes or no, low or high vibrational state. It really is a spectrum. So when our physical body is in a low vibrational state, we feel very tired, we feel exhausted. It's almost like how you feel after eating a huge junk food meal, right? You go to McDonald's, we've all had those days, we get a cheeseburger, fries, milkshake, whatever it is. I'm kind of salivating right now, but I know it's not good for me. But either way, think about how you feel after that meal. You feel exhausted. It's like there's no way you're going for a walk, there's no way you're leaving the couch, and that's really low vibrational. But when your physical body is in a high vibrational state, you feel alive, you feel vibrant, you feel energized, you feel good to go. It's really think about how we've all had those weeks or those couple days where it's we eat so clean, we eat so good, we wake up, we're feeling refreshed, our skin looks incredible. That is high vibrational. So when our emotional body is in a low vibrational state, we experience that as feelings of guilt and shame and fear and feelings of anxiety. So when your emotional body is in a high vibrational state, you feel peaceful, you feel calm, you feel at ease, you feel joyful, you feel present. There's this feeling of fulfillment. And for me, what I really think about is how I feel after I have a really good cry. Think about how you feel before the cry. That's literally low vibrational because you're holding so much dense energy in your emotional body, and the crying process is literally a release of all that energy, and then you end up existing in a much more light and free state. So it's really cool because I'm a huge advocate for crying. I think it's one of the most beautiful ways to let go and release those low vibrational energies. And when your mental body is in a low vibrational state, you are feeling like your mind is going crazy and your ego keeps chattering. I feel like I'm drowning in my own inner world because it gets so dark and it gets so heavy and so fearful. And it really, for me, manifests so much negative self-criticism, self-hate, and just straight up shitting on myself. And you kind of believe it, right? So that's where it can feel like you really are drowning in that low vibrational mental state. But the mental state can also exist in a high vibrational state. And that is just when you're really feeling hopeful, you're feeling connected to love, and your perception of the world and your ideas and your thoughts about yourself they're good, they're positive, and they are happy, they are on that spectrum. But more importantly, it's not necessarily rainbows, butterflies, and sugarcoating. For me, and I think that for many others, it really is a state of empowerment. So on a mental level, you feel calm, you feel present, and you just really feel like you can take on the world. And it's not like you're going to go out and necessarily try to master everything, but what it really means is you feel the confidence and empowerment to do what it is that you have to do throughout the day. So we all have those days, even like think about your birthday, right? Where you are just feeling really high vibrational, you kind of get everything done, nothing bothers you, everything slides off of you, you're like cool, calm, collected, and you feel really good about yourself. So now we see how we are one being, and we're not necessarily all of these different bodies individually, but it's almost as though all of these bodies are layers to our existence, which is primarily energetic. So we have our true self, which is pure consciousness, and our physical body, our mental body, and our emotional body are like manifestations of and through this core essence, which is us, even like our soul, you could say. So when we say raise your vibration, we mean it actually quite literally at the very core of things. Because think about it, if you have a cold cup of water, those molecules are vibrating and moving kind of slow, right? Because the water is very cold, and when you freeze it, they don't move at all. The water is not fluid because there's very little energy there with which those molecules can vibrate. And then you have a boiling pot of water. There's so much energy, those molecules are moving so quickly. So when we say raise your vibration of your body and of your being, what we really mean is to literally increase the energy of our being. So once again, it's like if you choose a green smoothie versus a cheeseburger, you literally increase your energy because the green smoothie gives your body energy, whereas the cheeseburger takes your body's energy. Same on a mental and emotional level. When we do make conscious efforts to take care of our emotional being and our emotions, and when we make an effort to nurture our thoughts, we are literally intentionally and consciously adding energy into these different aspects and bodies that comprise ourselves. So we are literally raising the vibration. It's like you're going from a little ice cube to a warm, boiling cup of water in the best way possible. You know what I mean. When you decide to raise your vibration in even one area of your life, it inevitably causes shifts and ripples in every other area of your life, even those that seem completely unrelated. And this happens for several reasons. Because when you are putting attention into raising your vibration, which is a general thing, right? It's overall you are one being, but you're deciding to do so in one aspect of your existence, what you're doing is you're naturally uplifting every other aspect of your being because you are one and those bodies are connected. But what's even cooler, you guys, is that when you start making decisions and creating and anchoring in habits for that one layer you decided, like you're going to have more green smoothies, you're going to go on runs, you're going to do yoga and maybe even Tai Chi, get your energy moving and flowing better. This is what's really cool. You will also end up doing the same and making the same kinds of adjustments in the other aspects of your existence. So it happens in two ways. Not only does the simple act of, being healthier and taking care of your physical body, not only does that just kind of shift everything else on its own without you intending, it also shifts you. It shifts your perception of you. You start to see that, you really are so capable of making really healthy, positive changes in your life. And it just raises your vibration of your consciousness, right? Of your entire being. And then you inevitably have this momentum to make changes and the necessary adjustments. We all know what it is we got to adjust in our lives. We all know the habits that we know we should do, but we don't. We all know the habits that we could do, but we don't know if we're the kind of person that could really do those on a consistent basis. What's really cool is that once you start addressing one area and you kind of develop that confidence on a mental, self-esteem level, but also on a vibrational level, this vibrational momentum, you inevitably want to and do start making adjustments in those other areas of your life. And this could be on a conscious level and a subconscious level. It's actually both. Okay guys, so a really good example of this is I'm going to use something from my personal life when I decide to wake up early. And I make such a strong intention for myself, and because I know it's healthy for me and I want to go on a run in the morning, and I kind of set up my morning routine so it is really, in my eyes and in my experience, high vibrational. And I think it's kind of universal as well, but you know, it really depends. So when I make this decision to go on a run, what that really does is then I find myself, so after the run and after all those little changes I made, that literally shifts the entire rest of my day. I find that when I do make those choices, I end up making better choices in other areas of my life. I end up being more responsible, more productive. I end up getting my work done, my studying. You know, I'm able to read and do work with more focus and attention. And because not only because of the run, which really does help with mental clarity, but what it really does is it just helps shift me and my entire being. So it's like there's one little area that I addressed, but what that did was create this high vibrational momentum, whereas now I feel like I can kind of take on the rest of like all my other tasks. So I'm also more likely to respond to my loved ones and my family in a just more connected and heart-centered way. I also find myself more likely to journal and meditate, right? And you would think, what does going for a run in the morning or even just waking up earlier in the morning have to do with the other areas of my life? And it's just because of what I described. The last thing I just want to mention to remember is that all of our bodies are connected and we are one, but the bodies that we have are distinct, right? So you can like look at your different organs and, you know, understand that they are an entity within themselves, but they are a part of a larger system and they are a manifestation of a larger system. And that larger system is you. Okay guys, so prior to getting into the 3 reasons as to why you want to raise your vibration, because you do, okay? Let's just be very clear. We all at our very core do. It's in our natural human biology, and it's actually a natural aspect of just any form of life and existence to continuously improve and grow and evolve. So it is literally in our DNA.